Now let's move to Ireland's neighbour, the UK, where a different type of riot is taking place. This is in the British Parliament, the House of Commons. The target is David Cameron, former Prime Minister turned Foreign Secretary. He's facing some tough questions about his ties to Britain's greatest strategic challenge, China. Cameron has been close to China for years. He ushered in what he called a golden age for UK-China relations.
This visit marks the start of a new era. Some have called it a golden era in relations between Britain and China, an era of stronger economic ties, deeper trade links, closer relations between our peoples, and meaningful dialogue on the issues that matter to us both.
That was back in 2015 during Chinese President Xi Jinping's state visit to the UK. Cameron was Prime Minister back then, and these images may seem absurd now considering today's geopolitical tensions. The British Prime Minister shared a pint with the Chinese President. There was a grand banquet with the late Queen Elizabeth II. And China invested billions in British nuclear power plants. All this was under David Cameron's watch. Now you might think, that was a long time ago. Why should it be relevant today? The global scenario has changed and Cameron will have changed with it. Well, not quite. Even after he left office in 2016, David Cameron continued to cozy up to China. That did not change. Not even after current Prime Minister Rishi Sunak declared that the golden age was over last year. In fact, just 2 months ago, Cameron was seen lobbying for China, for the Chinese-owned Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. A video has emerged. It shows Cameron spouting Chinese talking points. It was uploaded on YouTube by a Sri Lankan news channel. And here's what Cameron said. When you read the press about it, you think the whole thing was owned by China, governed by China, and that the Sri Lankans have made a terrible mistake. He cited a PwC report commissioned by China to talk up this project. At the same time, he downplayed an IMF report that was critical of the port. This is what he said, and I'm quoting again. The IMF, well, there's some skepticism in their report. It does say this would be a good opportunity for businesses to invest in Sri Lanka. David Cameron did all of this in September. He said all of this in September this year. When asked about the lobbying, here's what his team said. It was a paid event, a paid speaking event organized by KPMG Sri Lanka. And that David Cameron had not engaged with China about speaking events since he became the Foreign Secretary. The thing is, he became Foreign Secretary only 2 weeks ago. So when exactly did he cut ties with China? Let me show you some more images. They're from the Colombo Port City Project's Facebook page. One of them shows David Cameron. He's getting a gift from the managing director of the project. It is not a good look. And this is just a drop in the ocean. An arguably bigger issue is this one. Cameron's quoting of China's sovereign wealth fund. It started after he resigned as Prime Minister in 2016. David Cameron got involved in a UK-China investment fund, a $1 billion fund. He was supposed to manage it. Although he had no experience in investment, he was managing a $1 billion fund. Cameron was seen shuffling to China and back on multiple occasions between 2017 and 2018. He was courting China's sovereign wealth fund, the China Investment Corporation, or CIC. He wanted the CIC to be the anchor investor in his $1 billion fund. He hoped to use the state-owned CIC's name to gather more investors. It's like using the Chinese state to make yourself rich. Definitely not a good look. Cameron's fund eventually failed to take off. He says he has stepped back from his private interests since he took office. So technically, all his past antics may be perfectly legal. But does that absolve David Cameron of the moral implications? Shouldn't there be a cool-off period, a period between cozying up to China and joining the UK government? Cameron will have to answer all of these questions. His first round of questioning as Foreign Secretary is scheduled for the 5th of December. So hopefully we'll find out the answers soon.